Hi, this is the Change Mentor Academy podcast, and we have a special guest today. Ann, Ann's going to introduce Kevin. Kevin's got a rich history and he's doing some interesting things. And me and Kevin just met, but already feel like I already love Kevin for what he's doing and some of his heart. And so, Ann, would you introduce Kevin?
I would absolutely love to. Hello, everyone. Uh, this gentleman that's with us today on this podcast is Kevin Smith. He's the owner and chief executive officer of Veterans View Intake Center in Mocksville, North Carolina. He is a veteran, a community organizer, a mentor to many, a friend, and also a brother. And his passions shine through daily with his interactions with people. And Craig and I can attest to that. We feel very comfortable with him, but I want him to explain who he is a little bit more, why we're talking today, and get to know Kevin better because he's a person that you want to know. So, Kevin, thank you for joining us today. And would you please give us a little bit of your background so people can get an idea on who you are and where you come from?
Sure. Thank you, Ann. Thank you, Craig. It's a pleasure to meet with you guys, be here today and talk a little bit about myself and, what we're doing and why we're doing it. My name is Kevin Smith. I'm a Navy veteran. I'm a small business owner, coach, mentor, done a lot of work with kids, done a lot of work with homeless people, been homeless twice in my life as well. Understand what that's like from both sides of the fence. Um, I am, one of three kids that my mom brought into this world. And I'm the eldest of those three, which I try to appear as though I'm the youngest, but that doesn't always work. However, but in common, we're still thankful to be here today. We started Veterans View Intake Center, which is a facility in Mocksville, North Carolina, in 2021. And it was a nursing home facility. And the mission, passion, vision, all intertwined into one, was to provide a transitional facility for homeless male, female veterans with a wraparound service component. And why I say it that way is because it seems to expand, because some things get deleted and enhanced and vice versa, but that's just all about evolving. That's how it is. But it's a pretty large facility, but that's the reason why I've done it, is because of my own missions and experiences and what have yous in life itself.
That's pretty
Wow.
good. So one of the things that I thought of while you're talking is that I was once working with a veterans restoration ministry, had the same mission, only on smaller in the Nashville area, and they told me at one time this is before, this is like years ago, that 30% of the homeless people were veterans. Do you
Mm-hmm.
know any of the numbers, or what's your experiences with that?
I've heard different, numbers. It depends on the demographics, and I know in our area there's quite a few homeless veterans. One of the things that I did learn regarding the project for Veterans View Intake Center is that there's a high number of homeless female veterans, which is why we're, going to provide bed space for at least 30 of them, which will at
Wow.
least help a lot. It won't eradicate it, but it'll definitely help. And for males, we'll have the capacity for up to 40. And so that'll be staged out, not all at one time, because you got to add services and whatnot and make sure everybody's triaged and you can accommodate, the individual that you're wanting to provide services for. But yeah, the numbers are high. I feel that there are a lot of undocumented numbers because you don't know what you don't know. But I do feel like that the more we put forth an effort to at least set the intention to want to do something, then things can happen for us.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't know the homeless rate for female veterans was that high. Wow.
Yeah.
How
Yes.
how how did you wind up in Mocksville, North Carolina?
met a friend of mine at the gym, he and his wife, and so they invited me to their home in Davie County, and just happened chance to go there, and there were several people there from the county, some local, some icons in the community, I suppose, and so he says, "Hey, my buddy Kevin's looking to." He's got this VA project for homeless people, but he can't find a place to do it. Anybody know anything? Just happened to be a realtor sitting at the table, and that's what got the wheels turning. I mean, the guy took his phone out, made a phone call. Next thing I knew, he had a meeting set up for me in 2 weeks, and that seeded the foundation for VVIC.
Wow. Greg, did you have a comment?
No, I
you
said
look
wow
like-
too. I think my picture shows up anytime I groan or say wow or anything like that. So, and you had another question or two.
I do. So what type of services do you provide at your facility?
We will offer some mental health, behavioral health services, some medical. At some point, I'd like to have a lab there on site because we have space for it. That way, we can provide our own laboratory services, basic stuff, blood work and things like that, and hopefully partner with local law enforcement or other supporting agencies. We have 14 spaces that will be utilized for small business incubator space. We are going to utilize some space for what is called a Veterans Justice Center, where we can partner with the local courts in the surrounding counties, Davie, Davidson, what is the other court? Perhaps Iredell County, Stokes, what have you, but primarily Davie, Davidson. And we will either have a veterans treatment court or a diversionary program. We're not sure yet, but we have met with the local judges, so that's still in the grassroots stages. We have office space for case managers. We have spoken with the high schools, the Davie Senior High School, and also Davie Davidson Community College to work with them as far as culinary arts programs. We will have, what else? Gosh, there's so many things we're doing. We just built a greenhouse there on site. It's a huge greenhouse for hydroponics. So we'll try to grow as much of our own food as possible, have as many community events and that we can to keep the community, involved as much as possible, as well as the youth and the veterans. And just, I believe that the community, the veterans, they all make up the same. Everybody needs to come together, work together in order to support it. We want to have at least 2 to 3 farmers markets a month, once the weather breaks again. We're going to have the community college is also going to have some classes there. They'll have some of their students there, so we'll provide some services for them. Not sure what that curriculum is going to look like yet, but it's definitely in the making.
It's really good. So a couple things I thought of. I'm a permaculture guy, so
Okay.
I actually had a farm most of my life somewhere. Well, I say most, kind of been a while, so I'm not sure it's most anymore. But
Mhm.
I'm really I'm that old. I'm that old, Kevin.
Hey, you don't look old. You don't look old. Okay.
Well, this is what 64 looks like right here.
Oh,
It's,
okay. Great.
I tell my kids I'm not older than dirt, but I was there when some of it was being made.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah. But anyway, so I have a hydroponic system in the basement, in the garage.
Yeah.
And so I'm convinced that a family of 4 could create all the food they need in a spare bedroom with hydroponics.
Mhm. Exactly.
And that's something we're all going to have to learn how to do because of the way the world's going. They're messing things up. And so
Yeah.
that's a really valuable thing. The
Mhm.
other thing I thought of, just throwing out ideas, is that the Civil Air Patrol always needs volunteers, and they're part of the One Force. They're part of the Air Force Auxiliary, and they do search and rescue, and they work with kids and all kinds of stuff. And
Yeah.
so it could be a way that, even though it's volunteer, you don't get paid for this, but
Mhm.
it could be a way to build self-esteem, because
Right.
those people that have some kind of background in the military seem to do really well in that, because they
Mhm.
wear an Air Force uniform basically,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they wear, and that kind of thing. So that might be another thing to think about too. And they also have a STEM program. which is really good, and it's paid for by the Air Force. And I got a cat that wants my attention all of a sudden. So, Ann, I'm
That's
going to turn
okay.
this over to you.
Yeah.
Wow, that is an amazing list of
Well,
services and opportunities,
I got
that
one
you.
more for you, Ann.
Sure,
We
sure. Go ahead, tell us.
purchased some property first of the year adjacent to the facility. So it's 2.5 acres, and so at some point in the coming year, we want to see if we can raise the money to develop. We'll start to develop a tiny home community so that the veterans can transition from the facility to that place for a short period of time. Save money, work, and just kind of keep the circle going. And
Mhm.
we've gotten a lot of people to show up and want to volunteer, and of course, do some tours and things like that. But I do believe strongly that this is going to be a very, very successful venture, because it's the first of. I want to do more of these on this platform. Once we get this up and running and have a proven model,
Mhm.
continue to keep the folks in the community surrounding areas involved so they can see and learn what's going on. Keep the kids involved. Keep partnerships in place so that there's complete transparency, and each one teach one, each one support one. That's how I look at that.
So are you, this may be too early in the process for that, but are you looking at a Habitat for Humanity type of structure to build these? Are you looking for the community to get involved to help?
I have had Habitat come by. I've had folks from the community come by, because even though it's a for-profit, I've partnered my nonprofit venture with it. And so I've had different organizations step up to say, hey, we want to get involved and help. Even the high school has said that they would consider building a tiny home as a project there, and have it brought over from the school and set up, once we get the property, cleared off to support that particular home.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's a great way for people to give back
Mm-hmm.
and to learn about, the people who are receiving these great gifts.
Right.
So yeah, you don't always see that when you do things. You don't always see the people you impact. And
Mm-hmm.
by participating in something like this, especially for young people, they get to
Right.
actually see who is benefiting from everything that
Mm-hmm.
they're giving. So
Mm-hmm. I
that's amazing.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing. So, those seems like plans for the future. Are there any other plans that you have? I mean, that's enough right there.
Yes, it's a lot. We have some partnerships that are going to be we're going to be working with Chef Bacon with Second Harvest Food Bank, so we'll be doing some work with with them, and then also I'm really looking forward to working with the youth. That's a great part of my passion with that, because as you just mentioned, with the kids, I feel like the more they know, the more they can grow with all of the distractions that's going on in the world. And I just say it that way.
Hmm.
Because if we don't come back to where we started, years ago, with the grandmas and the parents that kind of lived off the land, and you could go to your neighbor's house and say, hey, I need this, that, and the other, or you could do whatever you needed to work together.
Hmm.
Even if you have small pockets in the communities that are willing to do that, that can grow if you just start it the right way. And I believe in cohesiveness. I believe in transparency. I don't like these color barriers. There are language barriers, so heck, we can still learn. I don't like the political barriers, because at the end of the day, people become the victims of that, and I don't like that either. But at the end of the day, I think that if we all learn to work together, grow together, we can all be one people, as we always say we are, but a lot of times it's not practiced.
Wow. I totally agree with you. We have to become one human race again.
Exactly.
So, do you have any upcoming events that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah. Um, there's an
Would you like?
organization at High Point University, and I forget the name of it, and I hope Michael Esposito doesn't get me for it. But his organization raised money for VVIC, and they actually built a track chair for us. And they raised $20,000. They through their nonprofit and built a track chair. I had a conference call with them last week, and So I'm going to get with the chamber and see, when we can set up something for them to come out and present it to the facility. And that way I feel it can not only help veterans, but if we have some kids or what have you, or people from the community who may be unable to walk, or they can just use a track chair. Maybe they want to learn how food's grown in the greenhouse. That track chair can take them in there and they can see what's going on. Maybe a parent wants to understand how their children are learning about hydroponics, because in that area they have aquaponics. They don't have hydro. We have hydroponics. We've got a 34 by 74 foot greenhouse with 100 towers going in it. So we're going to grow a lot of food. So.
Wow. So how are you intending to raise funds for some of these things that we were talking about here, like your tiny homes and anything else you're trying to expand on?
We're just going to put the word out and see what we can, make happen. The good Lord, the universe has made all of this happen thus far. My company has been able to support it thus far. Hopefully we can have some support come in to the table and, push that envelope further.
Great. I was looking at your website, as a matter of fact, just this morning before we got on this podcast, and I saw that you have an event coming up in February.
Yes, ma'am.
What is that all about?
It is a gala that is being put together by Miss Ozy Polite with Politely Planning, and it's designed to raise monies for Veterans View Intake Center in Moxville. It's going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's a black tie event. All of the information is on our website and also her website, www.politelyplanning.com.
And your website, would you tell our listeners?
Yes, my website's www.vvicnc.com.
Would you like to share it? Would you like to share the screen on somebody?
Let me see if I can pull that up. Or Ann, do you have it up right now?
Let's see.
I just threw you a curveball, didn't I? Said, okay.
Yeah, you really did, man. I don't know what.
I didn't mean to do that.
Yes.
By the way.
Let me see if it'll work here. Oh, yeah. Let's go back to there.
Did you get it?
Yep.
Can you see it yet?
Yep.
Can you see it, Kevin? No?
Yeah, I got it. I'm right here.
And if everybody looks up at the top, you can see the website address in case you didn't write it down before. It looks like there's 2 V's, an I, a C, an N, and a C.com.
.com. Yep. And there's the information for the Veterans Winter Jazz Gala.
And a phone number. Let's go back up phone number for a second.
Sorry.
So people. So 740-238-5050, 740-238-5050, and info@vvicnc.com. That's the email address.
Yeah. And you can also add Kevin@AmericanViewInc.com as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not listed there, but it's just a second way to, reach out to us if you need to.
Absolutely. So, all tickets were okay, right here. Okay.
And since this podcast will outlive this event, there's going to be other events that will be on this website too.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
If you want to keep track of what Kevin's doing and what Kevin's organization is doing, then you can always go to this website and find updated events too.
Absolutely. And if you're someone who's in need of services, you can visit this site as well to get more information, because Kevin will not turn you away.
No, we're not doing that.
So Kevin would probably appreciate any kind of grant information and any kind of funding information also, I bet. I don't think you'll turn down grants, will you, Kevin?
No, we won't. No. It's all going towards VVIC and helping the veterans in our mission.
I'll just stop my share. Okay. Is there anything else you want to share with our listeners?
Other than I'm happy to have had this opportunity to talk about, what we're doing and how we've done it and the support that we've gotten so far, and just the exciting things that we have ahead of us. And we still look forward to working and partnering with people who want to, and organizations who want to support our mission. And also we'll partner with others to help them as well. So I still believe it takes a collaborative effort to make it all work.
Yeah. Well, we hope to partner with Kevin with our art and training and homeschooling and other stuff too.
Yeah.
It looks like worthwhile. Kevin, you and I had a bunch of conversations before everything started. And since we're at the end, is there any stories you'd like to tell or anything you'd like to say related to maybe something that made you feel like this is the mission you need to have when you said you're homeless, you said 3 times?
Twice, 2 times in life.
Twice?
Yeah.
I added it. I made you, I gave you more history than you got.
It's okay. It's okay. You know, I've had that experience twice in life, and so I understand the passion behind it is with not only that, but however, just seeing people. You know, it's 100 degrees outside, and you're riding by, and you see veterans and other people say, "Hey, I'll work for food," you
Right.
know, or "Can you give me some money?" or something like that, and you see how many people just drive by. And oftentimes in life, I've seen a lot of people are unaffected by what goes on around them until they're looking in the mirror. I mean, we all have something in our backpack, one way or the other. I don't care what you got going on. So, this is a way that I like to create my legacy, and I just have this passion. This just comes from my soul to do this, to create the legacy as I am living and continue it. You know, long after I'm gone, somebody can just pick up the mantle and keep it rolling, you know, because it's not about making money. The money will come. It's about the purpose and the principle, because you can choose principle over power any day. I'd rather choose principle because power comes in so many different ways, and it can create some barriers in life that are seen and unforeseen. So if you want to stay authentic and true to oneself, I just choose principle. And that's what I'm going to live by and with.
Yep, I agree 100%. So what's going on in the news right now is just open borders. How is that affecting our veterans homeless situation and making safety issues and all the other things that could possibly happen with that? What are you seeing?
I'm imagining it's going to get worse. And I don't think it's going to just stop at our veterans. I think it's going to affect the communities at large. And I say communities plural. And I still feel like we need to still start at home and work from within and not outside back to the middle.
Good. Yeah, you and I had a couple of conversations about just our heart issues related to, I think Ann put it well, just creating unity between peoples, all peoples, and and we're all like Ann, like you said, we're all part of the one race, one human race.
Exactly.
And so that's real important to me, and I know it's important to you too. Are you, and the military is one place where traditionally that has been one of the best places to be, right?
Correct.
Related
Correct.
to that. And
Yeah, correct. I feel like things that are going on in the world can also, even though they're going on and they're beyond our control as a collective, but on the flip side of that, as a collective, you can choose your purposes in life and still bring people together and still work as a collective for the greater good. All you got to do is start one person at a time. Can't take the whole bubble and figure it all out. Just take one, come up with an idea, partner, synchronize your energies and your purposes and make it happen. That's how I see it.
yeah, another thing that you said was you see all these people who are maybe holding up signs or have a need, and I noticed this before too. Well, a couple of thoughts ran through my head. First, Dr. Dobson, he's a Christian psychologist, has his own focus on the family, right? And
Right.
he said there's a doctrine of limited tears, and that is you can't cry about everything, right? Or you'll just be miserable. So you got to pick that thing that touches your heart the most and try to make impact there. So even if homeless veterans are not that thing you're crying about, not that thing that touches your heart, find something,
Find
right?
something. Right.
And make an impact. This would be a good thing if you don't have something that touches your heart yet, this would be a good thing to look at, right? Because
Great.
this
I'd
is
love for you to look at it. Yeah.
but find something. Find
Just
something.
find something. Don't be a couch potato. Find something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
So what you do impacts men, women, and children. So if you can't find something in what Kevin's doing, you're going to be hard pressed to find something elsewhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if you don't have a dog in the fight somewhere, I don't know if that's a great way to say it, but if you're not trying to make an impact somewhere, then sounds like Kevin's got a whole bunch of different ways you can make an impact. One of the things that really touches my heart is the whole children part, children being part of, evil in the world, that the evil's affecting the children. So trafficking and all the other stuff, that's just something that just tears me apart.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. People become victims of so many things, and
yeah.
which is not good. Even adults.
yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, this has just been a wonderful pleasure for me to get to know you a little bit better. And I will be at that gala. I'm
Thank
going
you.
to that thing.
Thank
And
you.
I am spreading the word. So
Thank you.
I think it's a worthwhile cause, and I want to help you as much as we can.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Craig?
All right. Well, I guess that's a good place to stop because Kevin, I know you got other things you need to do and we got things going on, but this has been a real enlightening to me. I got to meet a new friend. I
Yep.
also got to see something going on in the world that's bigger than me. And that's really cool when you find something that's bigger than you are and you can kind of maybe one day play a small part in it. That's always a good place to be.
I agree. Same here. Same here.
Thank you, Kevin. You are now an official change mentor.
Well, thank you.
Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you both. Have a great day.
Mhm.
Yeah.